everyone, welcome to my first impressions video on this foundation which I bought in a recent haul. It's the Rimmel Fresher Skin Foundation. This is what it looks like, if I can hold it up the right way. And as you can see, I bought it in the shade 100 Ivory. I normally wear Rimmel foundations in the shade Ivory. I'm hoping it's the same as their other foundations, the shades are sort of like for like. So what I'm going to do is apply it to my face, go away and put on the rest of my makeup and check in throughout the day to let you know what I think of it and how I'm getting on with it. The thing that first drew me to it, other than the offer that it was on, it was £5 instead of £7.99, is the packaging. But just because it was different, but in hindsight, I'm not sure how much or how practical this packaging is going to be for a foundation. So I'm going to undo it for the first time now. As you can see, it's still sealed. So it's a screw jar. This is glass. And when you open it up, it's got this little protective bit on top, and then the foundation is in there. So when I'm saying I'm not sure how practical it's going to be, obviously you've got to either dip your finger or your tool into that, which probably isn't as hygienic as having a squeezy top, and also potentially a lot more messy. Already I'm struggling to know where I could put this down without making a mess. I'll be back. Right, so as you can see, when I've taken off the top, it does look to have separated ever so slightly on the top there. I'm going to dip my finger in it and feel what the texture is like. It's kind of like, that's quite bouncy, so it's not liquid at all. In fact, if I turn it upside down, yeah, I was going to say if I turned it upside down, I bet it wouldn't fall out, and it doesn't. So it's kind of got a bouncy, moussey type consistency to it. I'm going to apply it to my face with my favourite way to apply any foundation, which is with a beauty sponge. So this is a dampened Real Techniques beauty sponge. I'm just going to start on one side of my face and see how we go. I have put a primer on, by the way. It's my primer of choice at the moment, which is an oldie but a goodie, the Dr. Feelgood from Benefit. So I've just done this side of my face. I found it really easy to apply actually. The consistency, despite being sort of quite thick and moussey and bouncy, blended really easily using this tool. You probably can't really tell I've got it on camera actually, because it's a very, very light formula. It's meant to be. They call it a breathable natural finish foundation. It's meant to be a shine-free finish, and it claims not to clog pores. So, I mean, in the mirror, this side of my face does look a lot better than this side. It has covered up this little spot that I had here, and it has evened out the unevenness and the redness that I have in my skin. But at the same time, it probably doesn't really look like to the naked eye that I've actually got any foundation on. So whether that be a good thing or a bad thing is totally dependent on what you're looking for. And it smells a bit perfumed. That makes me a bit nervous because I prefer there not to be too much perfume in my foundations, because I do find my skin can react to it. But yeah, it looks quite nice. I mean, on camera, it doesn't look the best. It's probably not something I'd want to wear for filming, or like if I was going somewhere where I wanted a lot of coverage, I wanted it to sort of look a lot better on pictures. But for day to day, if I was just looking for really light natural coverage, then this might be something I'd be interested in. What I'm going to do is add on another layer on the same side of my face and see how well it builds up. So second layer done, I think it still looks quite natural. I mean, again, I'm not even sure if on camera you can tell which side I've got foundation on and which side I haven't. This is the side that I've put 2 layers on. Close up in the mirror, you can certainly see I've got foundation on now, so I think perhaps this is probably more designed for just one natural light layer, a really sort of light day-to-day base. My spot is still covered up quite nicely. I wouldn't say it's a completely shine-free finish. It's certainly not matte. I would actually even describe it as more of a dewy finish so far. Obviously I've got no powder on and I've literally just put it on, so I haven't had much time for it to set. It doesn't seem to be oxidising too much, so the colour sort of that you put on from the beginning is quite a true colour, I would say, and it's probably a pretty good colour match for me. It could probably do with it being a little bit more yellow tone so that it could even out that redness a little bit, but that's just the standard Rimmel colours really, the shades. I mean, certainly this side of my face looks an awful lot better than this side of my face in the mirror. But I still think that perhaps one layer is how this is designed to be used rather than build it up. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the whole of my face and come back to you though. So I've evened up my face now. I've got 2 layers on the whole of my face, and I'll give you a little bit more of an impression of what I thought. Now that the foundation has had some time to settle down, I'm noticing it hasn't really covered spots. So I've got this spot here that's showing through, this one here, which was a little bit more angry than the other one, is showing through. So it's definitely going to need some concealer, but it doesn't claim to be full coverage, so I wasn't expecting it to cover up all my spots without needing concealer as well. The finish definitely has dried down a little bit more matte than it looked initially. I mean, it probably still looks really shiny in the camera. I've got a big window behind the camera there, so I often look a lot shinier on camera than I do in real life, but it's definitely drying down a lot more matte than I initially thought it was. Not completely matte, it's actually quite a nice finish. It's sort of a satiny finish, so I quite like the finish it's drying down to. I do still think one layer is the way to go though, because the second layer has definitely made it look a lot more foundation-y, if that makes sense, rather than just kind of your skin but better kind of look, which is really what the foundation claims to be designed for. But yeah, I mean, so far, I think I would be quite happy to wear this as an everyday foundation to work, where I don't want loads of coverage, where I don't wear a lot of additional makeup on top of it. The only thing that's still putting me off is the smell. It is quite, overpowering is the wrong word, but it's certainly very, very noticeable. So if you don't like strong scents in your foundation, then maybe that would put you off. But I'll go away and put the rest of my makeup on and let you know how I think it fares once I've got a full face. When I say full face, I'm going to keep it reasonably natural in keeping with the look of the foundation. So I'm back. I have kept it quite light on my face. I've literally only put some blusher on. I haven't powdered because it claims to be a shine-free foundation, and I wanted to be able to see over the course of the day sort of the foundation rather than all the additional products I put on top. I do think it has oxidised a little bit over time. You can probably see now that my neck is a fair bit lighter than my face. Normally I would adjust that by bronzing up my neck. In fact, I should probably do that before I go out. But otherwise, nothing else has really changed in my opinion of the foundation. It's definitely sort of a satin finish. It's definitely better, I think, with one layer. It's definitely light coverage. It's definitely not going to be covering up any spots and additional blemishes. You do need concealer for that. But it claims to be, as I've said, a lightweight, breathable formula. So I'm going to check in throughout the day, sort of vlog style, to see how well I'm getting on with the foundation, if my opinion has changed of it at all. It's about 10:30 now, and I've got I'm going out and I'm doing some things around town. So yeah, I'll check in over the course of the day and see how well the foundation is faring up. So I've had the makeup on about an hour now. I thought I'd come and check in because I've noticed a couple of things. First thing being that it's already starting to crack a little bit and look a bit dry. Definitely around fine lines and where I've got large pores, it's starting to dry up a little bit and make it look a little bit cakey, which is pretty disappointing considering it's meant to be a light coverage foundation. But I think I may have made the mistake of putting on 2 layers when I should have only put on 1. So yeah, so far it's still maintaining sort of a reasonably satin-ishy matte kind of finish. I don't think it looks too shiny, but ever so slightly drying on my dry patches, which I haven't had for a while because my skin's been a lot better in terms of its dryness lately, and I'm not finding that my foundations cling to it as much. So this is the first time it's happened in a while. But I'll let you know in another few hours how it's bearing up. Hello, I'm checking in. It's nearly 6, well, it's 10 to 6, so I've had this makeup on all day, shopping, lunch, shopping again, clothes shopping and food shopping, and now I'm home. I'm about to do some housework, so I thought I'd check in for fun and time. Basically, I reckon overall the best thing I can say is that this foundation does what it says on the tin, which is breathable natural finish, shine free finish, doesn't clog pores, because you know you can see where it's worn. I'm red around here and on my nose. Here is just because I wear glasses, that's fair enough, and my spots are starting to show through a little bit on my chin. But it's not as dry, you know, it hasn't cracked and dried up as much as I thought it would. I thought it was going to at the beginning of the day after it had been on for about an hour. And I have got a little bit of a sore throat. I'm coming down with something, so maybe that's not a fair assessment because I do get a bit drier when that happens. But overall, I feel like I've been negative about it up until now, but overall, I like it. I don't love it, I haven't been blown away by it, but I like it. It's not got any SPF in though, or not that it says. So that's probably one downside for me, because if I've got a foundation that's light and natural and sort of I'm using it for every day, i.e. for work, ideally I want some SPF in it as well. So I will continue to use it. I probably will finish it up, Whether I repurchase it again or not remains to be seen. This is just my first impressions. It depends how it goes when I wear it more and more. But if you have got the kind of skin where you don't need a lot of foundation and you do just want a nice breathable light foundation just to give you a tiny little bit of coverage, and this I reckon is a good one. The issue with the packaging, and for me using a beauty blender wasn't too bad because I was just able to dip the top of my sponge in there and apply it to my face. So yeah, I didn't mind the packaging overall. It's glass, so I don't know how secure it would be in terms of travelling with it, but this lid feels pretty secure and it's nice and tight, more so than some of the sort of glass packaging like this NARS that I just won't take anywhere with me because it's going to spill everywhere. So yeah, that's my first impressions of the foundation. So do give the video a thumbs up if it's been useful, write any questions down below as always, and subscribe for videos twice a week. I'll see you next time. Bye.